So, check this out, people. We know that the market in general has been doing well since Donald Trump was elected. And AMC and GME have been doing really well. AMC not so well, GME a lot better, right? Those who watch me know how I feel about AMC and GME. Now, GME is deja vu all over again and again and again and again, right? Because we know that GME spiked and squeezed some 4 years ago. Please excuse my voice, people. I'm not doing too good. I've been suffering with allergies and my voice is a mess. But anyway, we know that GME squeezed some 4 years ago, right? I remember I sat in front of my laptop watching GME go from $49 a share to $400 a share within 24 hours, right? Now, I didn't chase it. I didn't buy into it. I didn't FOMO in, because the last thing you want to do is FOMO into a stock that's already spiked 30%. I mean, you're only going to lose money when you chase stocks, right? And so I sat there and I enjoyed everyone who was making the money cash out, right? And the very next day, the stock began to tank. The same people who were saying that it was going to the moon, including Roaring Kitty, cashed out, made millions, and those who are these loose change investors, like another influencer used to say, right? Loose change investors. These guys who only own a few hundred shares, right? Because they believed that GME was going to the moon. They believed that it was going to the moon. And so they put in a couple of $1,000s, maybe 10 grand, 20 grand, right? They used it, their life savings. Some people cashed out their pensions, their 401ks, and invested it into GME because they believed that it was going to the moon. They didn't believe this because they did their research. They didn't believe this because mainstream media said it was going to the moon, because analysts said it was going to the moon. They did it because YouTubers were telling them that it was going to the moon. And because they follow these everyday people who wipe their ass just like they do. And they bought the hype. They put in their life savings into GME. And the very next day lost it all because they didn't cash out at the top. And as always, these meme stocks, GME and AMC, tend to do well after market is closed. And then as soon as the market opens, the stock tanks. That's because people start to take their profits. And those who are idiots who believe that the stock is going to the moon because they watch influencers on YouTube, hold. Because they believe that a meme stock, a company that has no profit, that the only way and the only reason they made $5 billion is from the backs of their investors. When they cause the stock to tank by selling, by offering more shares and defrauding the investors. That's how GME made its money. By dumping shares. Because including the CEO, I don't know if you people notice, these meme stocks, right? These stocks that YouTubers tend to say are going to the moon, it's always the CEO that sells. It's always the CEO that causes the stock to tank and kills the play. Because everybody wants their money. They know that these types of investments are not the types of investments that are going to go far. They know that they have to take advantage of the suckers who are born every second. And then they have to cash out before the stock begins to tank. And this is what these influencers do. This is what these CEOs do. And so, even though I have AMC and GME on my watch list, GME is not a stock that I care to put my money into. If I want to put my money into a stock that doesn't pay dividends, that doesn't pay me to leave my money in, I might as well put my money in a bank that pays me $1 interest a year. Why would I put my money into a stock that pays me no interest and that the odds of me losing all my money is a 70% chance? When there are stocks that pay dividends that I can leave my money in, and if the stock goes up, I get paid. If the stock goes down, I get paid. I get paid if the stock trades sideways. Instead, you got these influencers trying to convince you that a stock that doesn't pay dividends is a stock that you should be holding on to long term, because according to them, the stock is going to the moon. The balance sheets, the books. The fact is this, people, that while GME is spiking, while GME is going up, you need to take advantage of these short spikes, these short days, because, like I said, it's deja vu all over again. This is not the first time GME has spiked. It's not the second, it's not the third, and it's not the fourth. And each time, the very next day or within a few days, the stock tanks. And that's because everyone starts to take profits, including those influencers who are telling you that it's going to the moon. And so I am the voice of reason to these people who are buying into these piece of shit stocks, because influencers are convincing them to do so, and these very same influencers are going to end up selling behind your back while selling you the nonsense on YouTube, because they don't make money through stocks. They make money through and by their channels, because people like you pay them. YouTube pays them. And so they have to keep promoting the nonsense. They have to keep promoting what pays them. Just like CNN, MSNBC, and all of these mainstream media channels had to keep up talking nonsense about Trump, is because the more they talked about Trump, the more views they got. And so it wasn't real news. It was fake news. But they had to do what people wanted to tune into. And because Trump is so captivating and people want to know more about him, they had to keep feeding the beast. And because these influencers know that people are money hungry, people are greedy, they're looking for quick money, a fast buck. And so they're going to keep pushing out what people are tuning in for. And that's the bullshit. Rather than seeing the way the market works, if you haven't learned the first time, the second, the third, and the fourth time that GME spikes and then tanks, then you're not going to learn now. Because the very same people who are selling you the nonsense are going to cut your throat, and you're going to lose your money. So pay attention to these stocks. Pay attention to your money. Don't get played. I tell this to people all the time. There are stocks out there that spike every day. Stocks that pay dividends. Good dividends like Coca-Cola, AT&T. If you research these stocks, you can leave your money into these stocks for years and years and years, and within a year you have at least 30% interest on your investments. Real stocks that pay real dividends, not meme stocks that take your money and the odds of you losing it are higher than they are of you winning. So in the end, people, pay attention, watch your money, watch these influencers, be careful how they play you, these trigger words they use to keep you tuned in, like GME is going to the moon, MOAS, and all of this bullshit and all of this nonsense. In the end, they are not here for you. They are here for the clicks, the views, the AdSense, and the YouTube money. That's how they make it. They don't make it through the stocks. So people, be careful and get your money.